Got it. One that he's showing up. You got it phone, right?
Well, we're not the councils, but
You think we should turn the camera on or just leave it like that?
well, doesn't Javier say it goes down when he puts the camera on? I mean, you can try it, but then it's gonna go down maybe.
I can always log in and put the camera, hook up the camera to this thing too.
Okay, you could try. No, this didn't print both sides. Oh, this one did.
That's
Did
what-
not.
I don't know what's up with the printer.
I know.
That's
printer's
me,
like-
this is me. This is the printer. Telephones here. Stupidity. He used to note writing.
Hmm?
Got paper.
I've got my notebook. Hey, Eddie, how you doing?
Well,
We were wondering if you're gonna be here or
yeah. I'm here.
how you been?
Good.
Yeah,
Staying busy.
staying warm?
Yeah.
Do you have a wood stove in your house?
No, I used to, but, when the kids grew up.
Do you?
But I didn't wanna handle wood.
Oh, really?
They-
I love a wood stove. We have one, but,
I actually had a wood furnace.
oh, did you?
I
Wow.
I've got fireplaces, but I kept them all. But they were just a little bit too narrow, they were just style, you know, very narrow. And I had a wood furnace in the basement.
Wow, nice.
So,
I would like that, my friend.
and that was, you pretty easy to regulate. Um, too much multiple.
Yeah, and there's a lot of dust
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. That's what I don't like about them. But man, there's nothing like them.
Well, I like to have it up next to one.
Yeah, I do too. Put me right next to it.
I've got, logs and fireplace, you know. They put out a little heat, but that's mostly for decoration, but everything, produce some gas. Yeah, anybody hold over there?
He's trying to get that.
How is
camera
that
right.
meet on meeting?
Huh?
How is that meet on meeting?
Yeah, I like to go.
I was wondering if you were gonna be there.
No, I'm gonna take it on himself. He goes to meet on me.
Really?
You're trying to complain about 20.
I know, but I thought we had a committee that did that. Like you were there, I was there, right?
But, he seems like to go to these meetings, and
You like to get out of the office.
I was, pretty much discouraged when we came back with this report from the last meeting. We felt absolutely nothing back. If I'd have been there. It would have been good.
Would have been a different story, huh?
Yeah.
Well, things are getting done slowly.
Yeah,
Thankfully, they did Warren Street,
that was really bad.
but they didn't miss pothole.
Well, I think, town council needs to explain that. How is that, we don't take the lawless approach anymore,
Yeah, I think it's usually pretty good about that. I don't.
well, he put out the email that says, I went to the VDOT meeting, so I knew you all were busy, and didn't have the time. Yeah, right.
That's not good.
Some I've been complaining about since 1958, yeah, I'll be like that. Sure,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no, he's, it's like laws, get your face out there and know these people in the network, blah, 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 you don't have to, you've seen it.
Well, we should ask Javier about that.
Well, he's the administrator, he's not a man. He's the administrator, he does what we asked him to do, we didn't ask him to go to the people. That's my.
Yeah, I think he should go, but I think it should be, I mean, Chief Jenkins was there, you were there, I was there, who else was there? Molly was there, right?
Yeah.
We had several people there and I thought it was a really good joint discussion. Yeah,
But the thing is, we can go to the meeting and bring back the material and say, okay, here's what we got, here's what we need to work on. You don't have to attend.
yeah. That's okay.
I just thought about it,
Well, I mean, I think that's a legitimate fuss.
just like this committee here. We sit around and we can discuss and come up with ideas, and we can, present these to the council. Conversely, council can give us,
Work,
projects or
Yeah.
something to research. And
right?
One time I was on the extinct Public Safety Committee, council never one time, 4 years I was on it, gave us anything to really consider.
Really?
Yeah, so I one day I said, well, let's just disband it if we're not gonna use it, because it's taking up people's time.
Well,
So-
government services doesn't have a huge log of work either, do they?
They, I haven't been to a meeting for a long time, and I really don't consider myself part of the committee because I just can't be on, I can't make a meeting,
Yeah,
really.
well, and you focus on the public safety aspect, not on everything.
Well, I focus on the maintenance aspect too.
Oh, that's true. You do. That's true.
And I've got a lot of forms about that, and,
Now, let's hope they're gonna get addressed.
well, there's one way to address it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Even worse. Elliot.
what? The traffic? So Jack's been monitoring, they're closing. Well, they're working on 20 over near Red Hill Road. And he's been monitoring the backup in real time.
Back of green.
Oh my gosh, it goes almost back to 64.
Yeah,
That's how bad it is.
There's bad pattern there.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I haven't been through there, since they started.
I haven't either, because Jack told me about it. I was like, I'm not going down there then.
it's back of green yesterday morning.
I'll drive 12 extra miles and hit 29.
That's what I said. I'll go 6 out to 29 and go down.
I'll get there. In fact, I gotta go next Thursday, but, no, it's cool, man.
I couldn't believe
Yes,
how
sir.
poor planning it is.
Yeah, I already started it.
When they,
Yeah,
when they had the tractor trailer accident back in May.
I would have,
Just at the top of the
I would
hill,
have,
before you make the curve and go to Vintage Market, right at the top of the hill, the campgrounds on the right hand side going, tractor trailer overturned.
Uh-huh.
And
When was this?
May
Mm-hmm.
28th, I believe.
Okay.
Chief Jenkins and I were coming back from Scottsville with the little unit for the police department. We picked it up. We ended up being part of the group.
hey, how are you?
So, Alan Hall asked if he could help, and he said,
For the
"Yeah, what do you
committee?
want me to do?" So.
Did you, I
and
see
I
the
went
link.
down to Route 708, where they got,
All right, let me see if you joined.
and, the key there.
Right.
And so
Hi.
he's directing traffic, also I'm directing traffic, club, and we kept on doing
Yeah.
it back and forth. Little conversation, why you doing this every once in
Yeah.
a while?
Yeah,
I just live up here, I said, well, that's where the accident is, stuff like that. That's bad, hot, that was warm. We moved it better than a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, a light, you'll be sitting at a light, the light won't tell you that there's 3 cars on this side and 23 cars on this side. It's just gonna go its time and do this. Where if you have 2 people, you can say, okay, let's let more of this side go because there's more of a backup here, right? And we know the rush hour at this time is coming, north to south. So you can make those assessments where a light isn't gonna make those assessments and you are just sitting there waiting.
And I tell you, if you're the first one at that light, like I said, I haven't seen what they've done out there, but it just from past experience, you go around the curve and let's say you're sitting to make a left-hand turn on 708. I've seen them fly around that curve, even that day I was just telling you about,
Really?
and just screeching brakes because they're not used. They don't realize it might be someone's stop.
Yeah, yeah. That could happen to any of us. I mean, I do fly down there sometimes too.
We don't have much of a chance anymore, because when you get to Vintage Market, you figure you could be doing, 40, 45 miles an hour the rest of the week also.
Mhm.
These people that try to pass on the,
Oh, there's some people who are insane.
straight.
They'll pass on the yellow, the double yellow. I mean, I don't care. I'm like, wow.
Long as the car.
Yeah.
I love these people that come flying by you.
I can send it
One
to
and a
you.
half car lengths will go in here, next thing you know, they get off on the exit.
Yeah,
Just kind of. swoop
Yeah.
across.
yeah. How dangerous is that?
I can remember when we started the rescue squad here, and, there was. My uncle was the EMS, district supervisor.
Wow.
Called that,
Uh-huh.
worked out of Richmond.
You got a long history here, Eddie.
Oh, yeah. Well, was just Grove, he was a third cousin, and his, grandfather was my great uncle, so that's two males I'm related to.
Wow.
Bobby Spencer took my first baby pictures
Oh.
in 1952.
Oh.
But, anyway, my uncle, we was talking about how to handle emergency people. And at the time, everything we had was one that looks like the one off of Ghostbusters. The white Cadillac, that's all we had for a rescue squad when we first started, $44. But, he says, we were sitting like right next door, he said, down, we can leave here, you get in that ambulance and you drive up with the lights on, you know, handle it safely, but you just, you know, if you're on the rescue squad call and go to the hospital. He says, I'm gonna leave a minute behind you and drive the speed limit all the way. And I guarantee you, you won't get there 30 seconds ahead.
Wow. Wow.
You can't pick up the time.
Yeah, yeah. Just the way the road is and.
The whole time I worked for Rescue Squad, you know, I was very diligent about, you know, that. And I absolutely didn't use the lights and sirens because it gets you on the road screwed up.
Yeah.
And sometimes it even checks the patient out, you know.
Yeah, sometimes.
But-
I think more and more they don't use it. They use the lights, but not the siren as much, unless it's really urgent. Because I see a lot of them going by with lights sometimes, but no sirens.
Now going to a call, you don't know what you're gonna run into, so
Mhm.
I would use lights and sirens going
To a call.
to a call.
Hmm,
Um,
interesting.
But after I picked them up, it was just a drive to town.
I hear a lot of sirens lately.
I mean, yeah, I would do. I hear those totals go on down at the fire department before the boys even show up, so.
Yeah, well, where you're located, you probably get them right away or anybody.
Or I can speak of it, the guy outside, when Scottsville has a call with the fire department, they
They
announce
get, yeah.
location, time, everything.
And you're like right behind them, right? Pretty
Yeah.
much.
That used to be part of our property there.
I swear, Eddie, when I walk on that road now, that road feels different behind your house.
Mhm.
You know, since where they cleared all those trees and stuff, it feels strange. It doesn't even seem like the same road anymore. It's just all open and it's like, is this the same road?
It's not as cozy.
No, I'm completely disoriented now when I go on it. It's not as nice a walk. Especially in the nice weather. Man, that heat, it just beats on you. Where before it was beautifully shaded in there. It was a really nice walk with the dogs and stuff, you know, but now.
Oh, dang it. Hello.
And we've always had a nice.
Hi, guys.
Breezy.
Hey,
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how are y'all? Sorry, I'm joining by phone again.
oh, that's all right.
Yep. Gotcha.
You can hear us okay, Mike?
Yeah, I can hear y'all very well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Good.
All right, we're all set.
Excellent. Thanks, Jack,
You're welcome.
for getting me in. Nope. Yep.
All right. All right, Jack, we ready?
We're ready.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Everybody got the agenda that Jack sent out? Mike, I just sent you a couple of extra documents. I wasn't sure if you're gonna be here or online, but I just sent you a couple
Yeah.
of extra documents if you want to check your mail. But you should have had the
Yep.
agenda from Jack already.
Yeah, I've got them both.
Okay, good, thank you. So the first one, discuss use cases. I'm gonna remove that from the agenda today because I didn't do my homework. So I need more time to do that. I've been doing a lot of other things though, which I'll catch you all up on. Let's go to number 4, status of projects. I just wanted to show you what I'm using to kind of track some things. It's the document with the green circles, Mike, that I just sent out today. It's titled Emergency Preparedness Committee Project Status Report, if you open it up. So we've got,
Yes, I definitely see a date of 12/11/23.
yeah, right. So this is what I'm going to be using to report out to the town council on the 11th. And you see the projects, E911, which we've talked about, internet outages, operations plan, grants and funding, public communication, engagement, and alerting. Those are the things right now that I have that are in flight with respect to this committee. Does anybody else have anything else to add? Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a good grouping from my perspective.
Okay, and that you see the legend here, the green are just things that are in progress or completed.
Yeah,
If there was something, if one of these bullets were yellow, it means we've completed an action, but we have concerns about it. Blue means we need action or input from the council or town staff. And red would mean that the action is at risk. Okay, so I'm going to be doing one of these for each of the town council meetings, just so that we can keep track of our work. All right?
Elise, can I ask one question about this
Yes.
project status report?
Yeah.
Is it okay for me to share this with John O'Prandy and Emily?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, yeah.
Jack,
I
do you
think
have
they
an
would.
issue with
They
it?
might have.
Yeah, I think it'll be good
Okay.
for them to be plugged into what we're doing too.
Yeah, a lot of this we just don't want to go against what their plans currently are, but they need to show us what they're doing, and so we're not stepping over bounds, or we're not missing anything either. So yeah, all right.
Okay, that's great, Mike. Thanks. And I talked to Chief Jenkins this week, and I talked to him about, because Javier had mentioned potentially getting, the chief does a lot of public outreach. And I talked to him about maybe in the future when we get better settled and get more progress and things, that we would have a public outreach event in concert with what the chief is doing, which he was totally amenable to. But I think we need a few more deliverables about that. But he did recommend that we get the most recent operations manual from
County.
the county.
I am working on that. I talked to apparently over this past weekend, and they're waiting on getting an update, plus confirm the 2 shelters in Scottsville. And
Yep.
then they're gonna give me an update if we do, when he gives me an update, if I could try and get a copy of it sent down here.
Okay, so Mike, if you do talk to him, if you could mention that, that we're looking to get the most recent copy of the manual that they have for emergency management.
Will do. Noted. Yeah,
Okay.
he's supposed to call me. Yeah, I was supposed to talk with him. He hasn't called me yet this week, but
He's been really
I
busy.
sent him over three different things that we needed for the EPC. And he didn't say he wouldn't do them, but he said he wanted to call and talk through them. So one of the things is when will they be able to come down and make a presentation to just our group? And then we can ask even more questions. So when he calls, I'll ask about the plan, how soon we might be able to obtain a copy. And then we really want to lock down a date for when they can come and talk to just our group, just the committee.
Yeah, that would be great, Mike. And
yeah.
So I think what we need to, and this is, to Eddie's point that he's made repeatedly, and the chief Chief Jenkins also reiterated this point, is that we are not interested in rewriting what they have, but we want to make sure that we dovetail our needs into their plan and make sure it fits together seamlessly. So, if they ask about, why do you want this, whatnot, please feel free to tell them, we think there are gaps in some of the use cases of preparedness that are specific to the town, and we'd like to just dovetail those into what they have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a community effort. That's, I don't think that's lost on them. So I agree. I mean, working together, we're going to accomplish more. It's the additional resources that the town can provide. They need to be factored in to the plan. So, yeah, I think he's on that path. So I think we're on a good path forward.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
That's great to know. Thanks, Mike. Okay, so Jack gathered together to number 5 on the agenda, some quotes for mass notification for alerting. I've shared the paper copies here. Jack, could you email those quotes to
Yes.
Mike if he doesn't have them already?
I can. So I got 3 quotes from basically what these surrounding counties use, Everbridge. Civic Plus, which the town has a website through, Raven, which is basically Smart 911. And basically, we can think on this. If there is a potential beginning of the new year that the price would increase, they're gonna let me know if it does or not. And basically Rave Smart 911, you can send any type of notification you think of. It's pretty incredible. You can send out outages, town meetings, emergency alerts, basically anything you think of, they can make it for you.
Okay.
And they will post to social media also.
Okay, so this is and Mike, Jack will share that in an email, but I'd like the group to just look these over and consider them. We're not even close to making any kind of recommendation to the town or anything, but I do want to consider the use cases around alerting for specific Scottsville events. Can we tie into existing systems? Do we need our own system? I think there's a lot more work to be done there, but this is information that will feed that sort of groundwork. Okay. All right, Jack, anything else on the quotes for mass notification?
I got 3 quotes from basically Everbridge is what Buckingham Van Nelson uses.
Okay.
Then the Civic ones through the website company for the town website.
Yeah, so our website is powered off of Civic Plus. And so Jack got a quote from our website provider.
And then I got one that the county uses, which is Smart 911.
Who's the lowest price? I didn't even compare that. Is it Civic?
It depends on it depends on if we grow, it will cost more.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, the population is growing.
And so basically, I think Smart 911's the cheapest. I got quoted for $4,000.
That's still a lot of money.
Right now, it says one-time fee sub is $1,000. And we're looking at for a 5-year bundle about $4,000 to $5,000 for 5 years, which is
it's a multi-use thing.
Yeah. You can send anything you want.
Yeah, right. It's not just emergency preparedness. I'm assuming.
Basically, you could post it to town social media, any social media accounts, you can send it, basically anything.
Right.
And it'll come with all the weather alerts. If we have to evacuate, we could go through National Weather Service and they can auto send it to pinpoint where you want to send it to.
Okay.
And it will give the short text code to sign up. So it'd be like if it's Scottsville alert, it'd be SV alert, something. Then it text you, sends you a notification, sign up, they click the link and it pops up. Pretty simple.
Well, one of the things that we should consider in the use case is just how we want to use it.
Yeah.
What are the specific uses for such a system?
Yeah.
And then decide what might be best fit. you know, obviously, we're not gonna do anything probably before the end of the year anyway.
Yeah.
So if prices rise,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I think my best quote I've gotten was Smart 911 because we're so small, they could probably give us a good deal.
Okay,
My question is, and that's, like I said, and as far as, you know, duplication and then again, dovetaking. Albemarle County has a smart 911 system. We're part of Albemarle County. Our taxes pay for that part of that system.
absolutely. Eddie.
We should find a place for us to implement that system as opposed to creating our own.
Well, that's a really good point. And maybe when we have this meeting with John O'Prandy, maybe that's a question we can ask him, is how we can dovetail into that. Jack or Mike, do you think that's a reasonable?
I think from what I heard,
It would be with Sonny Saxton. We'll have
Yeah.
to, Jack, you and I will have to make that request through Sonny. I
I
think.
know that I think Tim Carr is able to request that be something that, if I remember correctly, the levy supervisor is able to request reverse 911 stuff for flooding, I think. I could
Yeah,
be
but
wrong.
that's just for flooding,
Yeah,
right? There are other things that we would use it for, severe weather.
We could use that as an example.
Yeah.
Because it is in place.
Yeah.
We got a deal.
Can we capitalize on it for
Yeah,
other things?
right.
Yeah, yeah. So can you two take that action item?
I'll let Mike do it.
Okay, Mike,
Yeah.
do you mind?
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, the woman who maintains it, her name's Lily Gregg. So I definitely have I can connect with her and find out what's going on.
Yeah, if you have
Whether
a
or not they
working
can
relationship.
break
that's
stuff out. Right.
Okay, good.
Now they're not gonna be able to do any like town events, you know, they're not gonna be able to send out notifications about town council meetings or, you know, the riverfront activities. Only emergency type activities will go out through it. So
Yeah.
that's one thing we have to consider. Right. All right.
Well, and
I'll
that would
ask
be good, you know, that would even be a good first step, right? I mean, that's really the need that we're looking at as part of this committee. If we had a system that did more than that, then that's icing on the cake. But what I think we're really concerned with is for
It's gonna
emergency.
cost you. Yeah.
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 Okay, great, Mike. Thanks a lot. Okay,
Okay.
so anything else, Jack?
Basically maps. I'm gonna discuss maps updates. So far I've completed the parking map, public use, internal use map. The public map will be hopefully, I'm gonna push that to get the town approval, council approval sometime soon. Then I'm working on updating all the out-of-date maps, basically making sure that the clear map for evacuation zones is up to date. I'm trying to do that every yearly update if anything changes. Then I'm gonna work on some other maps that I think is worth adding to it.
Okay, so Jack is the map man. He's got all kinds of maps of infrastructure. Some things are classified, some things are public. Jack, you said, and we'll go through our action item list later, but you did say you got confirmation from the American Red Cross that the evacuation site for people is the elementary school.
Yes, I did. I did put a request in. I got a whole spreadsheet for the whole state. It is classified as I'm waiting for John apparently to confirm status as Rescue 17 as a shelter. I've not heard back from him yet. But I do think last time I heard it was all elementary schools under the Department of Social Services managing it. So it'd be probably potentially in the new gym at the elementary school.
Station 17 is not equipped to be in evacuation.
Right.
That's
What
right.
about,
Not anymore.
No,
what about if school is in session? What happens?
They probably, if it's evacuation, probably shut down everything.
I agree. You're not gonna have schools if
Yeah.
you got an emergency that would require evacuation, so I don't
You don't think so? Okay.
think.
So
All right,
I can
so
tell
is
you-
the American Red Cross the a
Yes,
definitive source?
yes, I confirmed that.
They've got a team that comes out of this in cases of, emergency. I don't.
Right.
Don't use the word disasters too much, but, they've got a rolling trailer. I mean,
Yeah, right,
this is what. They'll come in with beds and
Yeah.
blankets and everything.
Right.
So they'll.
so that's what they have listed as their
Yeah,
evacuation
so the
center.
capacity is 115 residents, post-impact capacity is 57. It is managed. And it's not drop and go type situation.
What does that mean?
I guess you can't drop stuff off and leave, you gotta stay.
I see. Can you find out if it's pet friendly?
It's not public school.
Not pet friendly. What do we do? So that's an open item.
Contact the
County.
ASPCA.
Yeah.
and see if they've got something set up. I'm sure they do. I know they do with the big.
I do have a connection with the local, I have a volunteer, my volunteer team, my nonprofit, she has a, place in Scottsville that takes dogs in for emergency, so I'm trying to reach out to her, see if
Yeah,
she
could
can-
you reach out
I
to
can.
her? Because, and we've said this before, there are some people who absolutely won't evacuate
Yeah.
without their pets. We've seen this in TV stories and, other things like that. So I think to the point where we can provision for that or make some provisions for that, that would be good. Go ahead, Eddie, I'm sorry.
You go ahead. I need to put something in.
Okay.
Kind of related.
I was talking to someone recently over in Nelson County, and they were saying last year there was some kind of event where the power went out for
Yeah.
a number of days. And there was an elderly woman living by herself, and her daughter couldn't get to her. And so the neighbor, I was actually talking to the neighbor, the woman has since passed. The neighbor went over to see what they could do for the woman. And in the meantime, the daughter arrived and took the woman to a shelter in Nelson County where they had heat and food and whatnot, and they dropped the mother off there at the shelter. So these are the things too, where even if you're not evacuating per se, there might be some group of people that needs those services. And so we should just be kind of mindful of that. So that was a use case I hadn't really thought of. We're not evacuating everybody, but there are people who need shelter
So,
and meals
show you
and
this,
stuff
this
like
is
that.
one list I have,
Mm-hmm.
this is from the Red Cross. And basically gives me everything that's a shelter related in the state of Virginia. I also have the total max capacity, that's another spreadsheet. This is from the Red Cross.
Can you share this? This is
I
public.
can.
Yeah, can you share this with the group?
Do you just want the whole state or that's the two,
Yeah,
or
just,
do you want the countywide?
well, I'm interested in the surrounding counties too, Fluvanna, Nelson, whatnot, because if we had more than 150 people, how many would we evacuate, Eddie, do you think, in town?
Well,
Depending on
it depends on
the incident,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, what if the power goes out for 5 days, let's say?
Okay, that would affect everyone.
Right.
Just about.
Yeah.
Right, that's worst case.
Well, we have basically roughly 550 people in town.
But not everybody would evacuate, right?
No,
So
I would have to-
maybe-
I shouldn't have to.
I shouldn't either, but what about a third, maybe?
Yeah, well, if you got
Apartments?
That's what I was getting ready to say, you got all the apartments, that's 33 people at least, right?
At least.
You got 33 apartments.
So, but let's see, 3, 4, probably 150 should be enough for even a large scale problem, right?
150 with a, plan for the overflow, just in case.
Yeah, and that's why I want to see the surrounding counties to see if we have overflow. Would they be able to take people in for us?
I think that's a partnership under the mutual aid agreement, I guess.
I don't know about that now.
I don't know if it's,
That's a different
yeah,
ballgame, I think.
yeah, I think that's a different level of discussion, right? Okay,
This is something, I'll shut it down if you guys look at it. It was sent to me, that came from FEMA. And
I lost it.
You lost it.
It wouldn't have disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can pull up on my phone. I have it saved.
I think I'll do it, I'll find it.
It was pretty hilarious. I had to laugh at it.
Yeah, okay.
Look, it's it's
Hey, are you guys ready for this pup? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cute.
That came from FEMA.
yeah, they're getting smart.
Yeah.
So
So obviously pets are a big part of their mindset.
that's what like I've been saying to our committee, you know, we gotta look at what these folks are doing because. Of course, there might be sometimes when power goes down, people don't have access to the website. However, if they're concerned, they'll be prepared. And they got a situation, a button for everything. Hurricanes, floods, fire, tornadoes, pets, elderly.
And I'm sure the county's tapped into that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the state,
Mm-hmm.
of Office of Emergency Preparedness. I'm just saying, and you'll hear me say the punch. Just don't duplicate anything that's already being done. Let's
Yeah.
find our place within the system.
Absolutely, Eddie, thanks. Okay, and now I just want to talk for a bit. Let's see, where else is my agenda?
The after action.
No, I want to do the top priorities. We should probably sync this list up, Jack, with the list of projects that I have.
Right.
So these are the
Basic
projects
template.
here on E911, internet outages, operations plan. We should probably sync your original priority
That template.
list with that.
Can you send me the template?
You don't have
I
it?
don't have that template.
Okay, I'll send it to you. All right.
And don't forget, 2 weeks from now is Christmas.
Yeah, I was gonna do that before we ended. Because I talked to Tim Sursley, who's the Kersley?
Yeah,
Okay, Kersley. I talked to Tim Kersley on the volunteer fire department. And we were talking about the E911 markers for driveways. And Tim thinks that would be, he agrees, it would be low hanging fruit and would be easy enough to do and good to do. It would be a nice win for the town. And certainly the EMTs, etc., the fire department would appreciate having those. So I look at that as a really high priority. Look at Eddie. Oh, he brought an actual sign. Did you purchase yours, Eddie?
Rescue squad.
Because he's trying to find where all of those markers, because he said the rescue squad printed on all, I mean, they had them printed for everybody and you could go and purchase yours or something from the rescue squad, but he doesn't know where they all went after the county took over the rescue squad. You got yours.
No, I didn't get mine.
Oh, you
yeah,
did?
that's leftover stock.
Here's the deal. The rescue squad said, we'll make these.
They had a fundraiser.
Well, not really. We charge $15 a piece. Now, I'm not sure what these things cost.
They're about $30 now.
I don't know what they are, but $15 wasn't much of a profit.
Right.
Whoever was on duty, would come in and after they've done everything else, they would sit down and we have a list of people that addresses whether they want them vertical, horizontal, and they were supposed to make them. Eventually, everybody said, oh, well, it is coming in.
Let him do
Yeah.
it.
So it was a pain in the butt. And some people wouldn't pick them up. Some people wanted them yesterday.
Yeah.
And we had to take our own time to deliver if they couldn't be delivered, but the idea was to have them picked up, at the rescue point. This is a blanket.
Can I have it for my driveway?
Give me that, I'll make you.
190. But do they go by address or do they go by, is there an E911 designator?
If you put in this is your mailing.
Right.
address,
Mhm.
So you live on 190
Payment Street.
King Street.
Mhm,
I live, so you would have 190.
mhm.
Right?
And I would put it at the end of my driveway?
Yeah, and then two votes. This is one that came out pretty good.
Mhm.
And this is an example of someone that didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah,
And if you all want to play with me, go ahead, because that was a 7, part of it ended up here. So when these things hit, they are stuck.
yeah, right, okay, you gotta do it right the first day.
And they,
Yeah, sorry you can't see this, Mike.
I went on YouTube.
I know, yeah. I have the same concern. It's, you know, what happens when they get damaged and who's going to pay for the replacement, that kind of thing. Vandalism too.
And
So, yeah.
You know, what's really interesting though, is Fluvanna County did it for their residents and Buckingham County did it for their residents. And as much money as Albemarle has, they won't do it. They won't do it for their residents. I think that's amazing, actually.
well, was there a charge for those signs in Buckingham?
I don't believe so. I think it was done with tax money because I know they came and did it for my house and I didn't pay anything.
Okay.
And they put them in.
Yeah.
So
They installed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's amazing to me that a rural county like Buckingham would do that for the residents, but Albemarle said they won't do it.
Well, you know, in the town of Scottsville, for example, I think it would be more or less a club. I mean, having these blue things everywhere. I've got one. I'm in the town, but it's just another signage that, but you know, if someone needs one, they need one. Individuals that have had the power to put one up anytime they want.
but was
Yeah, but I don't think they realize it or know about it, Eddie. I think we have to, you know, I talked to Javier about potentially funding it or doing a partial funding with the town, at least for the signs. And I talked to Tim about, we would have to give guidance on placement, right? Because if you're a first responder, you don't want to be looking all over for it, right? It's like, it should be on the right side of your driveway, so many feet back or vertically, horizontally, whatever. But he also did mention a little bit to a point you're alluding to is that the problem, you know, it might be a little bit of an issue. How do we mark the historic buildings in town, right? The front ones. That's a really big sign that, you know, the E911 sign you're showing me is what, like 2 feet, 2.5 feet tall?
No,
You think it's a foot? No, it's gotta be 18 inches at least, 2 feet to 18
it's 9
inches.
inches and 9, you think 9 inches?
that's about a foot right here.
Yeah, that's why I said 2 feet.
I'd
It's
say-
2 feet to me, 18 inches, 2 feet. Yeah,
So what,
yeah. So on a historic building, that would just stick out like a sore thumb. So how would we mark them? And so maybe we need to do some research on what other towns, historic towns do for marking E911. Jack, could you take the
Yeah, I can
action
do
to
that.
look into that?
But, you know, to have these blue signs all over town, and then one of the people, you know, with these mailboxes, the reason the mailboxes are down here is because there's no place to put them on the streets.
Can they put them against the house, like on the house?
You could put them on.
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
As long as first
They're
responders know
seen from
that.
the road.
Pardon,
Yeah.
Mike?
They got to be seen from the.
Yeah, you gotta
So
be
they
able
have to
to
be
see them
seen
from
from the
the,
road.
yeah,
Yeah, but-
exactly.
Right.
So what I'm looking at the Buckingham Emergency Services website, they use the building inspector to go issue
Yeah.
the signs.
They were green,
Yeah,
they were smaller, and
Not
they
as
put them
tall.
on a post about this tall at the end of my driveway or near my mailbox, I think. And it was done vertically, not horizontally, but they were smaller than what you're showing me, Eddie.
Yeah, there's
So it would be easier to conceal on a historic building, and the green would not be as glaring as that blue. Right, so,
And it, you know, when you conceal, you know, when it's not accessible, because these people, there's a turnover, not the same EMS crew at the rescue, for example, there's a turnover.
yeah, no, I get it. All right, well, Jack, if you could look into the E911 markers, I'll use the term markers instead of signs, for historic properties, that would be helpful.
what's the my only issue is what's the sign code for like for the town?
What is the what?
Will this be an issue with this zoning policy about the signs.
I think we'll have to marshal that through the planning commission.
That's my only issue.
You got a couple on Warren Street. You know?
Oh, are
Yeah.
they placed already?
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
in town,
Uh-huh,
up there, you going up that hill, and you got some on James River Road. One on the corner, right there at 6th and James River Road, there's a house there, 185, and that's one of my made from the shop. It's in the town, but it doesn't want to be about.
hmm,
But when you get into the historical area.
yeah, it's a different
personally,
ballgame.
I think there would be an eyesore.
I do too. That's why I'd like Jack to look at,
This might be an error.
what other historic towns do. I'm sure they provision for this somehow.
Don't they have to have address? Don't they have numbers in front of their houses in historic?
Not everybody, not everybody. It's just like, you know, I'm on a private road and there's no markers anywhere.
And you know,
On the houses.
if you've got, a house that's already marked with 190, that can be seen from the road, you don't need one of these.
Yeah,
These are more or less, I think, you know, for the rural areas.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got a half-mile dirt road, you gotta go down.
or like you said, you made a good point, when you have a dirt road with a bunch of mailboxes at the end, and then you go in and you have no idea. But I still think it would be nice to promote them throughout the town, if we could, for all properties. You know, because we do have elderly people in town and things like that, and not all houses are marked and whatnot. Tim seemed to think that would be, his crew would appreciate that greatly.
Because I
So-
George property, they haven't made any of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see too, if they have, I mean, those are big. And on the rural properties, that's no problem. In
They do
town
They do
properties,
make these small ones too.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
$20.
yeah,
Could screen about 6x12 for
yeah,
historic
that
district.
would be better. And that's what mine were
Yeah.
probably in Buckingham were about this tall.
That's-
And they are they always marked, do you all know, with just an address?
It's just a number, right? It's just a number.
It's your physical address,
Mm.
which usually begins with the new ones.
Okay.
So you
And
have
so
to-
when you have multiple houses, like on a property, is it just A, B, and C that you put after that?
Yeah, you walk here on Confederate Drive, and there's a, one that I made there. Well, they had, came on the number, let's just say 144A,
Mm-hmm,
144B,
mm-hmm.
and I had to fabricate an error because they didn't.
That's right.
spell it.
That's right.
So if you go up there and look, you know, right where, you know, roads divided, you'll see A and B,
Okay,
so.
that's how you dealt with that. But you had to do it, you had to manufacture that yourself.
I just took the number 4 and read it.
Right, yeah, okay. All right, so that is potentially low hanging fruit. I think there are a lot of issues that we do have to cover per this group.
Look, here's an example. Here's Wintergreen. This is up at
Yeah,
Wintergreen. This is what
right.
Wintergreen looks like. It's very small. $15. It's like that.
Yeah, but that's on the mailbox.
Yeah, we could put that, yeah.
But see, the problem is, to Eddie's point, when there's a group of mailboxes at the end of a road, that doesn't necessarily help the EMT squad know which house they're going to, right?
And down here, we've got the mailbox cluster in the box lot.
Yeah,
We did, there's no mailboxes.
Right,
out there. We
exactly.
Have to be on.
And I don't have a mailbox because I'm on a steep hill and there's no way for me to get down there. That's not dangerous. So I just have a PO box. I mean, I have a physical address, right? 190 Hayman, but I don't have a mailbox. So I don't even know where I'd put mine, but it would be good to have. Okay, anything else on E911? All right, so Jack,
for me.
I'm sorry, Mike, go ahead.
Oh, I just said not for me. Okay.
Oh, okay, thanks. All right,
I did take a look at Starlink.
Oh,
I get some
yeah.
Ideas. I did
Yeah.
talk to the IT person for Scotts PD. They looked into it and wouldn't benefit them any. And they prefer staying with what they have so far.
that's the T-Mobile.
That's T-Mobile,
hotspot.
AT&T hotspot thing.
But that did go down on them when the internet, the full-blown
Yeah,
internet
it went
went down.
down, so I don't know what the next solution is.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily give up on Starlink as a
It's-
backup.
Yeah, it's like something you have to put on the roof. Be eye source.
I don't know. I think I'd still like to get more information on that.
So-
Mike, do you have any thoughts, or do you deal at all with Starlink or anything like that?
No, we haven't. It sounds like a good idea, and it might be opportunities for emergency grants, meaning it comes from DHS or some other federal agency. So I'll take that to look into it. I'm interested in it as well.
Like,
It's definitely a nice backup solution because there's no reliance on power except for the receiver. The receiver that's on the roof has to be powered somehow, but that could be, a solar battery or some sort of backup. If it's a generator, if the rescue squad is on a generator, then that unit itself would be powered. So it does give you some independence.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
And it strikes me that the Starlink people may have configured this for other emergency type outages, for police departments, first responders, if you will.
this way to cost money to have it for all the police cars and units, it's like $150 a month. Times how many vehicles they have.
Well, let's see what Mike can explore with them.
Well, FEMA's,
Yeah, this would be a single site, so static site. There's some school division that went through this whole process like 3 years ago. I think they put stuff up on 4 or 5 schools. I can't remember what county it is,
Huh,
but yeah.
that would be
So it'd
interesting
be
to
nice
find
to find
out.
out. Right, how long have they had them up and running, and is it really providing the level of service they expected? So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I'll take that.
Okay,
take that.
I'll put that on your list then.
I'm not sure about the state, but I'll harken back to FEMA again. They got, something on their website about internet outages. And on the same website, they've got, a link to different grants. And, I believe in maybe Virginia's got something specifically for rural areas. So, I mean, just about every website I've been to got a link to some type of grant now. I didn't look at all of them,
Okay,
but they're out there.
we'll pursue that. One thing that Jack has brought up, and I think it's on the agenda too, is finding a person to actually write those grants. I mean, I don't mind participating in it,
So they have to be Matt Whiz.
Melody says she had some experience.
So maybe if we can find one,
Because, technically, it can't be part of the job because you're committed not applying for grant and family.
yeah, right,
So,
right.
but that was part of her, when she submitted an application, had an interview, she said.
We asked her
she
that.
It had been a while, but she still had experience with. grant.
Yeah, well, maybe if we can identify one. So first of all, we'd have to identify a solution. Then we could apply for a grant for that solution. And Melody and I could potentially jointly work on that grant.
So how do you think we should fix the solution? We got to find
Well, Mike's gonna look into Starlink.
find a solution to get them to understand why, if they cut the main line, the issues that it calls down here.
That's right.
So I think we should approach them, see if they can fix theirs first to prevent,
Fix
so they prevent this from happening again.
Brightspeed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not, we talked last time, Jack, not always Brightspeed's fault, right? I mean, look at the
Yeah.
recent one. Some construction company cut through the lines. That wasn't Brightspeed.
They
Right,
should-
so-
Yeah,
Anyway, Mike, you were gonna say?
Oh, I was just, the redundant path responsibility is usually on the wireless service provider. I mean, that's the other thing that should be a takeaway for me too, just to go back and track the number of outages that have happened at Hertz specifically. T-Mobile, I can contact my T-Mobile and Verizon folks and just get them to be honest with me about what do they need to do to make redundancy happen at their critical cell tower sites, specifically herds, but there's probably others that they need to protect. So yeah, another takeaway for Mike. Jack, you're going to have to help me on some of these.
Bravo.
Jack, you've been really helpful on some other stuff, so we'll work together on this one. All right.
So getting a list of outages and then explore redundancy plans with vendors, right? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Did I
right.
capture that? Okay,
Did you
good.
get the spreadsheet I sent to you a few months ago?
What's that?
Did you get the list I sent you a few months ago, way back in?
Oh, the outages. Yeah, just to give everybody an update on that while Jack's on that topic. He helped me put together a spreadsheet of outages throughout the county. And it was specific to Brightspeed. So there were a bunch of outages in Earlysville, and then of course the ones that impacted Scottsville. We put them all together in a big sheet, and I'll put it this way with this group. It's a small group, but I was close to contacting the SCC. One thing that's public is that because of the transition from CenturyLink to Brightspeed, Brightspeed is required to meet with the State Corporation Commission every month. When I sent this list over and said to the government affairs contact that I'm going to the SCC with this, but I would like to give you all an opportunity to talk with me about what you're doing to improve and, just validate that these 40 items were actual outages, which we know they weren't going to be able to argue against it. Long story, they wrote back and said, well, we're actually meeting with the SCC every week now, and we want the opportunity to come in and talk with you all about how we're improving and what types of things we're going to do to avoid these types of issues. So in a sense, they're like, don't go to the SCC until you have a chance to talk with our engineers, and we scheduled that for next week. So we're having a meeting with the Brightspeed engineers and the government affairs person next week. So the next time we meet, I'll give you an update on where that is. I still feel obligated to send this list into the SCC just so that they're aware of the number of outages and things that are happening here in the county. But long story, but I just wanted to give everybody an update on where we are with Brightspeed.
All right, that's great info, Mike. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, well, good. We're, at least pursuing that. And I feel better that, at least Mike, you'll be making him aware of what's going on, in the county about outages and things like that. I think that will help.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I just want to go through the action items then. Touching base with John O'Prandy about risk management. Mike, you and I were on the hook for that. Do you think
Yeah.
Do we still want to do that?
Yeah, I think it would be great for them to come and just give us, the committee, an overall view of what they're doing, but then specifically, how some of their plans are impacting the town. I think that would be very beneficial. So yeah, I gave them all of our upcoming meetings and asked them to pick one. So I'm hopeful that they'll be able to do it. And while we're on that topic, the other two things I put in that were, verifying that the emergency location is the elementary school. We want to hear that from them.
Yeah.
But my boss was also on that email, Kaki Dimmick. So she's head of human services, so she'll know what the human services part of that is too. So I've got to follow up with her to make sure that their plans are included in what the town should have access to. What types of things? How do we transport people? What's going to happen with the apartments? That type of thing is in front of that whole group. And one of my concerns, and I put this in the email to them, was, we're coming up on weather, and no telling when the next big storm's going to roll through. We need to be ready and not, especially since now we're foreign, people are going to be looking at us and thinking, well, what did you guys do to avoid this situation? Yeah. Whether it's somebody who can't get their dog out of their house and into a shelter because they're being evacuated, that type of stuff. We just need to stay ahead of it. So anyway, there I am.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
Yep.
I agree with you. I'm a
Yeah.
little concerned about, the cold season coming up too, and the storms that might be moving in. We never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, emergency access point, we're looking into that. Investigate and communicate on the light vac. Did you go and talk to the restaurants about that, Eddie?
I want to talk to the school. I'm apprehensive about going to, the restaurants right now without, the challenge blessing.
I see, okay, all right,
I want everybody on the same page. And let's say, for example, I go out here and something was a malfunction and they wouldn't blame me, that they blame the town.
yeah,
I'm a small town. But, I did get in touch with, Ms. Wells, the principal here in Scottsville, just to kind of put my toe in the water. And, I explained to her what I was doing. I'll show you guys here. Jack wanted me to bring this down, but, so of course you've seen this.
yeah, so this is that light vac device, Mike, that Eddie showed.
Okay.
But anyway, that's the
Nice.
That's the practice with it. It looks just like a hockey mask. And that's the one you can use in the emergency. That's a pediatric. That's a plunger and give it a direction. No batteries, no wires, no nothing. So basically what you do, you take this. And I'll just practice one. So catch it here. Make sure it's sealed around, make sure the children burst. They don't have to be unconscious, so they're probably starting blue. Hang on. Back. And it sucks through here and into here. Everybody goes home happy and alive. Of course, they need to get checked out.
Yeah.
Case of damage.
Mhm.
He said it's back to the company with a picture of your
Success.
of your success, and they'll send you a brand new. This is a family one, they got mobile ones, and talked with Ms. Wells. Here, take a look at it. Talked to Ms. Wells about that, and also, I haven't taken this out, but this is the fire blanket,
Oh, yeah, I have these at home. Mhm.
and you know, it up for
Mhm.
it's what is about, probably about 6 times the size.
Yeah, when you open it up.
And it's used for fire.
Does it come with the gloves too? Mine came with gloves.
I don't feel that it maybe took in. I haven't opened it up yet. But I'd like to see the restaurants and the schools,
Have those.
put this in the inventory
Mhm.
right next to this.
Yeah,
Especially, when you kind of fire extinguisher, these things are probably required by the county. Fire
Yeah.
extinguishers, they gotta be inspected. If something's wrong, they gotta be, fixed. And they make a mess. And if you got food around, you want to know what you make them contaminated with the chemicals in there, so. I never used one of these, but throw it over with open fire, it's supposed to snuff it
You
out.
could throw it over an electric vehicle.
yeah. You can throw it over a
Mhm.
stove. You
Yeah.
can put it over yourself to run out of the building to protect
I
yourself.
hadn't thought of it.
Yeah.
We can,
Mhm.
the building won't get damaged if we throw that on there.
So one of the things I'm working on, Eddie, and I haven't gotten very far, but I've mentioned it to the group before, is a flyer for businesses about some of this information. And once I get a draft done, I'll bring it to the group here and y'all can review it. And then we can decide if we want to, bring it to the town to say, okay, this is something that we'd like to proceed with the chamber, let's say. And do that with the chamber and things like that. So I'll bring those when I get them done.
I think maybe with the restaurant,
Yeah,
or something like this.
yeah,
And this will seem to be open, but it's just like everything else in the government, you got to do the challenge.
that's right.
If somebody up this in the hallway, and somebody tripped over it. Where you get that from,
Yeah,
for the program.
yeah, unfortunately.
Give you the name of this Cortez. And actually the time is perfect. I can approach, council at the workshop and talk like this. And tell them, that I'd like to get started. And, businesses are a priority, but the kids go to school with that too, so, I'll go through this whole test and see if she likes some kind of presentation, or does she have, she wants to approach it, or if she wants to approach it.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds great. All right, so I think most of the other action items we've talked about, I'll update our list after this. Jack mentioned that our next meeting is in 2 weeks, which is right before Christmas.
21st.
Yeah, so do you want to have it? Do you guys want to meet then? Do you want to push it off till after Christmas? What do you want to do?
I'll be on my way to Atlanta.
Okay, so Eddie won't be here. Mike, what about you? Any inclinations, meet or wait?
Yeah, I would say push it to the new year. Y'all have a happy holidays.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this maybe. Let's pick up on January 4th.
Yeah,
So that's I have it on the calendar every 2 weeks. So that is a scheduled meeting. But then we won't have any meetings from now until the 4th of January. Is that all right?
That's a Thursday.
That's a Thursday.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, that's good. And that'll give me more time to get some work done.
me too.
I have one more.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Eddie's got one more prop,
One more
Mike.
prop. And the only reason I brought this
Uh-oh, okay. I need to come down there on the 4th, man. Y'all are having too much fun. Yeah.
Emergency radio made by Midland, no electric cord.
Yeah, I've got one like that. Not that brand, but I do have one.
Okay, and of course, it's got the crank on it.
Yep,
Um.
flashlight on it.
Battery, siren, and this one's got 2 things on it. I didn't know about it, it's got a dog whistle.
Wow.
All right.
I hope I don't. And it's-
If you do, your hearing's really good.
I'll be my people, and it's solar powered,
Wow,
which is something new to me.
neat.
But the cool thing is, you cut it on. And you have a lot of neon here,
Yeah,
but that, put your light on the nose.
weather radio station. Yeah, I have one.
So
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Yeah, that's another, that's a great addition to our devices is a, some places call it a weather radio,
Emergency radio.
emergency radio. That's a great thing to put on our list to promote.
People how to do it.
Okay, too bad you missed the goodies there, Mike, but,
All right, well.
all right, we'll see you on
thank
the
y'all.
4th.
Okay, have a good one.
All
Happy
right,
holidays.
you too.
See
Happy
ya.
holidays.
Thank you, Mike.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Would you want it, whether you read it like 190 sideways horizontal or just
Vertical.
like these?
Because I eventually want to put gates at the end of a gate at the end of my